Personally, in a way, I wouldn't mind the fact that the old Penn Station was demolished if they had built something decent in its place. Penn Station doesn't really work very well as a train station.
You're just immediately leaving all of the vibrancy and life of New York City and just descending into this pit. It's too crowded, there's no logical way to understand how you move through it. It's a maze that makes no sense. The separation of Long Island Railroad from New Jersey Transit to Amtrak is completely confusing, and it's just a terrible, terrible place to be.
It's pretty much like a fancy hospital, you know, like a fancy vagrant hospital. It's dirty, it's disgusting, everyone's miserable, no one's ever happy.
I think people just want to get out of Penn Station as quick as possible. It's a little, with the low ceilings and stuff, it can sort of heighten your sense of stress when you first get to it.
Why can't it be as nice as Grand Central? Has nicer shops, it's cleaner, better atmosphere. So yeah, I hate coming here.
It's a bit depressing compared to certainly Grand Central and a lot of the other places in New York. It's not New York's best.
Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are thrilled to gather today to mark what we hope is a transformational moment in the history of the city and the start of a much longer conversation about the future of Penn Station, Madison Square Garden, in New York.
Exactly what is it about the garden that structurally prevents the improvement of Penn Station?
The fact is, Penn Station can't move. Those tracks and platforms are there, for as long as this is a city. The garden can.
It simply needs, first and foremost, a functional overhaul. But more than that, it needs to become a civic space, a space that's a gift to New Yorkers and to people who visit New York.
Perhaps Penn Station's role as a civic anchor can in fact have a much broader citywide impact than just the immediate district.
Really trying to develop that whole idea of civic urbanism where we actually ring the whole station with commercial activity.
How can we reimagine the train station of tomorrow? We propose an exuberant space in use around the clock.
Rethinking the structural system, a lot of the columns could be moved into the center of the tracks. Your access up to the upper level is increased along with your views and views of the train board.
This bottom-to-top transformation of Penn Station will make connections easier and clearer. There will be enough space to accommodate the crowds, and the station will have the architectural distinction to match Grand Central.
I think a lot of times people think, oh, big new projects can't happen in New York, but that's just not true. And people are really excited about big visions. I think that's one of the reasons the High Line happened, is because we didn't just say we're going to put up a walkway and a bench and a planter. We said we're going to do something really special. And yes, that's harder than doing something simple, but that's what gets people excited. And I think it's the same thing with Penn Station. It's not just about building a newer, slightly better station. It's about doing something incredible, doing something that's worthy of New York City.
We have to demand a world-class transportation facility. We have to get our politicians behind that idea.
I do think this is an amazing opportunity to begin a public discussion.
The time is now.
We need everybody involved. We need the whole public involved in helping create the pressure and the momentum on federal, state, and city leadership to accept their responsibility to help build a new Penn Station for a 21st century New York. And the easy way to do that is to contact us at mas.org.